like it's time. So, nope, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. Where's my sound? I needed to make sure that we have sound for this so everybody can hear it and I don't lose the first 10 minutes of audio.
Good strategy.
There we go. Well, all the sound and stuff works, but now I can't see our Discord on our stream. This is garbage. Why do you do this? Why do you do this to me? OBS. I would love if you didn't. I would absolutely adore if you did not do these things. Even a little bit. There we go. I have found it. Alright, excellent. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. So, welcome back everybody. Here we go. Finally, to Elemental Evils, the Mulmmaster campaign, the Odd Jobs, episode 18, and part 2 of Foulness beneath Mulmmaster. When we last left our adventurers of Mulmmaster, the Odd Jobs found themselves at the end of some downtime days after going to their
Did I miss
various...
roll call?
Oh, wow, yeah. Stop, back it up, rewind it. I'm not
I
getting
was
ahead of
like
myself.
starting to get
It's like,
like
do
a
I
bad
know how
feeling in
we
my
s-
stomach because we skipped roll call.
It's
I
that
don't know
bad.
how we start things anymore.
Yeah,
I don't
there's-
know.
I thought I knew how we started things.
I
But
know, we
Oh
took a
my
week
God.
off and it done fucked me all up. Damn, Mother's Day, you really done goofed me up, you know. Insert dead mom joke here. Anyways, you know how we start this. Roll call.
Hiya.
Ryan.
Mikey.
Kyle.
And Steven! There we go. That's more correct. So, where was I?
We last left our adventurers.
We last left our adventures at the end of their downtime days. Mulmmaster, Odd Jobs, Elemental Evils, Part 2 of Foulness Beneath Mulmmaster. There we go. That's all the things that need to be said. So, at the end of the downtime days, after our heroes had spent time out in nature, at the House of Suffering, making deals and plans to perform an old switcheroo at some of the highest levels of nobility, and progressing through their journey in the cloaks. Our adventurers once again reconvened at the Oxpit Tavern, run by the one and only Crewmeg. There they shared their stories of the last 10 days' events and started to gather bits of information about various adventures that had recently been posted on the newly erected job board at the Oxpit Tavern. Learning of a number of adventures, one going outside of Mulmmaster to deal with some banditry on the North Road. Others about the eventual arrival of Fergus Boltsmeltzer, a friend of Crewmeg's, and then finally a new turn of events as a monster was discovered in a sewer drain, discovered by some of the children of Mulmmaster that had already had a number of adventurers unsuccessfully go to investigate the source of this monstrosity. As the party deliberated on what to do, they set out to various tasks, with Jove and Rory speaking to the Flan refugee Ilva over at the Leaning Boot, setting up an eventual meeting to meet with Jasper slash Lapis to enact a plan of that will require much guile and much more secrecy and finesse to pull off. Freddy himself went over to finally revisiting Thrundrazi at the Thaven Embassy, learning the names, although kept to himself, of the Archomentals that these various cults seem to be worshipping, the names of Alahydra, Imix, Yansibi, and Ograbach. Also, setting up an official date with Thrundrazi, with the very likelihood of going to an arts festival in the coming 10 days, run not only by the Gosses, but showcasing a young Andric Goss and a slew of new paintings that seem to be creating quite some fervor in the city of Mulmmaster. Finally, Jasper went down to the Zent ghetto and reconvened with Ekwars, going underneath the Black Blade and receiving a custom pressed Zenitrim coin, cementing her joining of the family of Zenitrim. The party made it back to the Oxpit Tavern and decided to investigate this so-called monster that had been discovered, meeting Sergeant Masker of the City Watch, being promised a sum of gold, and being directed to the corpse of this monster. There, the bard played some relatively good music for having two broken fingers for a small audience of guards and children, while Jove had a conversation with one of the children who discovered this monster, discovering that it had called out for some sort of help between them before finding this bloated, barbed, tentacle-like monster that had been almost like squeezed through parts of the grates to be dumped out into the city of Mulmmaster. After gathering some more information, the party was sent into the sewers of Mulmmaster, going in some places from knee deep to hip deep to nipple deep, depending on the size of the character, in the actual shit water that comprises most of the city's sewers. The trek was uneventful for the first hour or so, before the party encountered Florio, New Lion, and Kira, another adventuring party that had unsuccessfully tried to investigate this monster in the sewers, losing their very own cleric to a rogue wave of sewage water that had swept away the dwarf down deeper into the sewers. After a rather pleasant conversation, and perhaps even an invitation to drink at the Oxpit Tavern, and discuss future works, Florio and his fellow adventurers left the rest of the job up to the odd jobs as they progressed deeper and deeper into the sewage. The water rising, the rain never stopping, even for a moment, even here beneath Mulmmaster, until they came to an intersection. As they came to kind of this T intersection deep within the sewers, a voice had called out, warning the characters of an impeding ambush. And no sooner had that warning gone out, the characters did indeed discover a number of mold and decay monsters that seemed to have been hiding out beneath the waters of the sewers, waiting for their prey. In this case, the party. A short but fierce battle was fought with its own number of trials and tribulations, but the party managed to come out on top. As we return back to our adventures, as they pick themselves up out of the actual shit water, a creature has now appeared before you all, and just for funsies, I'm going to read the flavor text once more. As you all pick yourselves up and come down from the adrenaline of the last fight, you hear a strange sound, like air rapidly escaping a bladder, and an equally strange creature floats into view. It resembles a jellyfish. It has a mass of barbed tentacles protruding from the underside of its ovoid body, and a pair of eye stalks topped with large eyes that regard you rather sadly, and a slit-like toothless orifice running between them. The creature's skin glows faintly with a deep blue light, and you can all hear inside of your heads, not from any sort of external auditory noise, but almost coming from inside of your own minds. A small voice that asks, "Are you all okay?" As we return back to you, party.
Did you
Uh,
all just fucking hear that?
yeah, that's uh, hey, we're not great because we're covered in little shit, but we're doing all right. We're alive. So,
I think we have you to thank for that little warning that you gave us was mighty helpful if that was indeed you.
well, that's what that was.
Correct, that was
Wait,
me.
well, hold on. What? This thing is making the voice. Is that you? Voice?
And a number of these kind of barbed tentacles kind of raise up in this odd smell of a wave, and you hear, "Yes, that was me. I'm glad that it helped and that you're all right."
Before we go further, how should we address you?
My name and what I'm referred to is Lal. And that's Laal.
All
What do?
right, lol. Uh, so you're friendly.
Yes, I think this is how Upsiders do friendliness. She glows kind of from kind of a deep blue to almost a light kind of pink before going back to blue.
Wow. That's pretty cool that you can do that. Can you just do that at will, or is it tied to your emotions?
I love the friendly chatter and everything, but what the fuck is going on? Do your kind need help with something?
I agree. Lol, what exactly is going on here and what brought you here?
In order of asking, it's tied to emotions. As she turns to you, Freddie, and then turns back to Rory and Jasper. Nothing good. Do you want me to start at the beginning or talk about it more immediately?
Y- Do you know a place we could have this conversation where we're not standing in chest high shit?
And she
Not to be rude, but this kind of sucks.
um, looks kind of to the sides and begins to kind of drift backwards, heading down, if we were looking at the T intersection, to the right. Jasper and Jove, you are washed down to the left, and you can see, just looking down that way, especially you, Jasper, with the glowing pants, that it's a sharp decline before eventually heading into what looks to be like a collapsed part of the sewers. You can see that water still runs from the cracks in between, but it is largely inaccessible as she begins to kind of float down to the right side and continues on. I think the mass majority of this place will have shit water, but there's places to stand outside of it here.
That's mighty helpful.
And continues to drift down. And a little ways away, you can see the pathways to stand on kind of the sides of it. They are not particularly, dry or a great place to stay, but it will allow you to get out of the shit water, at least for the time being, and not be waist deep in it, if not deeper.
All right. Now what's going on?
Well, and she turns to kind of a lighter blue. I'm Lal, and my mate's name was Zol. We're from beneath the Urspur Mountains. Normally, we wouldn't travel this far, especially towards the city of Mulmmaster, but Zol had been following some troglodytes deep into the sewers, and while I tried to warn him against it, he was very brave. And she turns kind of like a deep kind of pink, almost like a magenta. And so we followed them from the Underdark into the sewers of Mulmmaster until we came upon other humanoids. One was referred to as Master. However, they weren't working with the troglodytes, they were fighting against him. But there's something wrong with him. He only has malice and hatred and anger inside of his mind, and she can see that she turns into a deep, angry kind of red crimson as she speaks this part.
You're talking about the master?
Yes. A tall, dark-skinned humanoid wears a strange jewelry around their neck. I didn't trust him, but Zol wanted to take a closer look. We wanted to keep following, see where the troglodytes had gone and what these humanoids were doing. Typically, your kind doesn't like to go underneath the land. I'm sorry, I hope that's not offensive.
Nah, you're fine. We got tough skin.
Well, Sol went to investigate this one that they refer to as Master, and she turns a very deep blue. And you don't hear her say the words. Instead, you see almost a quick succession of images of her watching what you now recognize as the other creature, the one that had washed down the drains, so to speak, approaching a group of what appears to be humans before you see two crossbow bolts strike which you can infer as Zol. The body drops immediately, like all the air almost deflates out of it in this kind of macabre, almost like a whoopee cushion, but with more intestines, dropping, hitting the water and being washed away. And the dark blue almost turns like purple, almost black. It almost makes it hard to see as you kind of watch this string of events. And with a kind of sad little voice.
So it's not so much your kind that's in trouble, it was you and your partner.
Yes, the Underdark is not a safe place for anyone. But our kind is typically peaceful.
So are you asking for... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go for it.
So are you asking for safe passage, or do you want revenge?
She kind of, it's a strange, as her body kind of like tilts to the side, as it kind of, you know, oscillates in the air, up and down and slightly to the side. And she goes from kind of that deep blue to a regular kind of light blue. I'm not a fighter. I'm not brave the way Zol was, but he would have wanted to bring that man to justice. Whatever it is. She turns a slight red for just a second. And to stop these troglodytes, they're not supposed to be here. They'll just multiply and breed, and then they won't be satisfied with just the sewers.
So do you have a means of repaying us for this service? I don't know if you know, but our kind don't exactly do things out of the kindness of our hearts.
No. And she turns kind of a deeper blue. But I know where stuff is. Do your kind take stuff?
Yeah, we usually consider stuff a form of payment. Um, what kind of stuff are you talking?
Where the troglodytes have set up their spawning grounds. It's supposed to lead to a tomb, I think. It's what the one called Master is looking for. I don't know what's in there, but other of your kind really want it. Perhaps that would be enough?
Well, that would be at least mighty helpful, though. And I do just want to say, speaking of kindness and hearts, sorry that you lost your partner. I know that is a difficult thing to do. As you can imagine, we've all had a hard day wading through some shit water here, so tempers are a little short. Now, that being said, you mentioned this master fella having some sort of necklace. And Jove is gonna. I do believe I still have the water necklace on me.
Yeah.
The Cold of the Crushing Wave one in my pack. So I'm going to. Or did I give that to Freddy? Either way, what I'll do is I will. If there is some like mud on the ground or something, can I try and like sketch out that symbol and shine my lantern on it and say, uh, "Lol, did it look something like this? Like a what we might call like a rune or something?"
Um, you find something equivalent to mud, but you're pretty sure it's not mud.
Yeah.
And you draw that symbol out, and turns kind of like a bluish kind of yellow, and no, it's not that. It's hangs tights, and she kind of like puts like a tentacle and like a small ring around your neck, has small red squares on it.
Could be jewels, I imagine.
Yes, I believe so.
Well,
Sounds like a payday, if you ask me. Even if it's not exactly what we're looking for, folks. Not sure if we've got any other good ideas, but lol.
yeah, believe it or not, we were looking for this tomb as well. So, if you can show us the way, that would be reasonable payment, I think.
Um, Jasper, roll me a persuasion check.
Okay. Oh my god. So, with my bonuses, that's a 4.
Oh God.
Oh.
She turns to a lighter shade of blue, but mixed in with almost like little shades of green. I can point you in the right direction, but I'm not a fighter. The last adventuring group got scared when they saw me, and I tried to reach out to more of you topsiders to take care of Zol's body and a bunch of your smaller ones, and puts the tentacles closer like to the ground, closer to your height, Jove. Ran away. I just don't know. I'm just no good at fighting fights. That's why. That's why Zol perished and I didn't. She turns that very deep, deep blue once again.
Jasper turns exasperated to Joe for him to keep this conversation going.
And it's weird because like so much of it is like you guys are all hearing it, but it's like you guys say something and then it's just like silence. It's a weird hearing inside your minds, but hearing no other sounds, the sound of, sewage and water running and the own kind of shuffling of your armor and clothes, although sopping wet as they are.
Well, I talked to one of the little ones that I think that you had reached out to, and if it's any consolation, if she had any choice in the matter, she would have helped you. But she's what we might call a youngling in our society, and well, older folks tend to get a little more uptight about seeing things that they don't understand. So sorry that somebody wasn't able to come to your aid quicker. I understand if you don't feel like you want to be fighting this fight, but pointing us in the right direction sounds like a good deal. And I'm not sure how far away you can keep up this whole, I don't know, talking in our head bit, but you can be floating back pretty far away and still making sure we're going in the right direction. Would that be the case, Law?
Go ahead and roll persuasion, Jove.
Yeah, man. Yay, that's a 17.
Her kind of eye stalks turn towards you, and I can lead you there. Yeah, I can do that. Soul would have wanted me to do that.
He'd been mighty proud.
And she turns kind of a light pink for a little bit, and like a big breath of like inhales pink and then exhales and returns to kind of that neutral blue. Well, I'll lead you as far as I can. Do you need a moment to rest or ask anything else? I know that it's harder for you all to move in here than it is for me and my kind.
I don't really need a break. Does anybody else?
I'm feeling fresh.
I could use one.
My one thing I'll say out of character is that Dom only gives us 2 short rests per module. So
Per long
if
rest,
it's
just to be
I
specific.
mean,
per long rest, okay.
I'm almost at half health.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, if you look that rough, then you won't receive
I have
resistance.
spell slots, but I think I used a healing potion and a 2nd level healing spell on myself last
You did,
combat.
yeah.
Yeah. True.
Okay, if you want to.
Lol, maybe we should take a little bit of a rest, and if you don't mind me asking, but can you tell me a little bit about your kind and where you're from? Up here, I fancy myself something of a naturalist. I like going around and seeing new environments, and I'm never seen or heard anything about, well, you or your kind. So if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit while we rest up, I'd appreciate that.
Oh, okay. Well, our kind is referred to as flumps. We're denizens of the Underdark. The Underdark's a hard place. There's lots of things that are strange and more than happy to eat you, or enslave you, or just kill you to be rid their own boredom. It's not typically a place topsiders want to go, but we make do. We try our best to help out those who need help there and keep to ourselves. My pod is from the Earthspur Mountains, so we see some of miners and deep dwarves and other such creatures. We try not to go this far west, because that's when you start hitting some of the dark elf encampments. And they typically just use us for target practice. We don't make good workers or slaves. But things have been changing in the Underdark. Most things are just trying to make it another cycle underneath. But things have been stirring. Things from deep underneath. The Dwergar have been fighting other topsiders. The Dark Elves have been mobilizing and expanding out towards the west, and there's been a rumbling. Not just the sound of earth moving, but of things looking. So that's why Zol has took it upon himself to investigate and be more proactive, which is what led us to the sewers of Mulmmaster. I've been told it smells bad in here. Luckily, I don't have a sense of smell. In the typical sense.
Well, you make up for it with those bright colors. I'd say it's oddly comforting to see something as beautiful as yourself in such a dark and dreary place.
And she turns into kind of a bright pink, and then a yellow, and then a blue. Oh,
I hope
thank you.
this
You're
isn't
very
too
kind.
Yeah, similar to your kind, my kind tend to be a little bit nicer than some of the other folks we share the earth with, and can it can well lead to us in chains and other such things. So I'm somewhat of a softy, despite this tough, rough exterior of mine. But I hope this isn't too forward. But as we're sitting here and finishing up our time, do you mind if I make a little sketch of you in my journal? I'd like to catalog friends that I've met along the way.
I've never had anyone journal me before.
Helps
So,
having fingers, so
and you see kind of the barbed tentacles kind of go up and do this almost like a wave motion of like flexing each one out. Fingers would be helpful. But we have other abilities. As she can, hear her in your own mind, and it's very hard for people to lie to us. Although some people find that a scary trait to hear others' thoughts. But it keeps us quiet in the Underdark, so I think it's a good thing. So Joe,
it's
go
like
ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check as you are kind of drawing, sketching lol in your journal.
ooh, yeah. Rolled a halfling crit fail. I have a feeling my shit's a little wet right now.
It
So
is
that's a
indeed.
4-4.
A good chunk of it is wet, and while lol lights up certain parts of it, the lighting in here is bad, and it's there's just so many things, and as you're like drawing it, you move, and there's a across it, and there's a big smudge of dark stain across part of the page. It makes it look like lol has like one really big tentacle compared to all the other ones. It's a frustrating attempt. Like blame it on the shit water is what Joe thinks as this rest is going on. It's like, of course, it's the shit water's fault. I'm a fine artiste. But go ahead, Freddy, roll out those hit dice for that short rest. Is anybody else going to roll any hit die?
Yeah, I'll use my rogue one.
Song of Rest.
Whoa.
Thank you.
I will also take some time to meditate to get my key points back.
You'll take this short rest. The sounds of the sewer kind of plinking, water rushing, cool almost. I mean, at this point, kind of cold since you guys have been in the water, but you do take the short rest. Law continues to be kind of a erudite conversationalist. Tells you about, flump society, and just kind of life in the Underdark to the east for Rory and our Mulmmaster natives, and Jove having kind of a good geographical idea of it. The Urspur Mountains are directly east of Mulmmaster and actually continue south quite a bit of ways. Not nearly all the way south, I believe, to like the Drowned Forest, but they do make up kind of the eastern portion. It creates kind of like a natural barrier for Mulmmaster. Not to be confused with the Galena Mountains. Rory, you would know that the monastery, your monastery, is technically nestled in the Urspur Mountains, just at a far more east location and far more vertically inclined.
Interesting.
Everybody go ahead and just roll me like a history check, just for funsies.
Not just for Rory.
Not just for Rory, just for all four of you guys.
Okay.
What are we rolling?
A history.
History. That's a 5 for Rory.
8 for Jove.
Fuck's sake, 9. Good thing I'm getting all these rotten rolls out now.
Yeah.
21.
21. The rest of you, it's all just kind of interesting. Interesting to hear about this area. That's, just a different perspective. For you, my bard friends, you would know that the Urspur Mountains are, yes, they are a wild place, but typically there's a strong dwarven presence there, and that the few dwarves that you see in Mulmmaster typically share their lineage to the Urspur Mountains, and so you are aware of a number of clans that call that home instead, and that have had long ties with the city of Mulmmaster in the past. Remind me later, I will get you a specific name of a rather prominent dwarven clan. I'd have to click through some notes, but mark that down. I'll make a note here. Tell Freddy about the dwarven clan. But you guys spend the better part of a half hour, maybe more, maybe less, time's hard to tell, down in kind of this lightless sewers. But as you patch yourselves up, as Freddy's Song of Rest comes to a close, give me some flavor on your Song of Rest, Freddy. You know I like that magic-y bard shit.
I mean, his fingers are still a little broken, so it's more of just like kind of like the plucking that you do when you're like practicing and just like relearning chords. Basically, just like making sure he's got his chords right, but like doing it very musically, just like instinctively. It's pretty much where all of the musicality of his casting and strumming and any kind of music he's playing right now is coming from. Is just he just can't help but play it musically at this point in his experience with it.
As you strum your chords and, practice your scales, just that, for you so much second nature, so entwined into your very character. As the notes ring out, you can see almost a ripple of color that goes across Lol's form. It's like as each note goes across, it's almost like watching a wave pattern as this kind of green and pink kind of ripples through as you do each chord, and there's slight changes of it. It's actually rather soothing as Lol, told you about life in the Underdark, seemingly unaware of kind of the cool auditory slash visual effects going across her flump skin as you kind of play. It's almost like having a starry night light in kind of the middle of this that's linked to your own song. And whilst this place is wet and gross and smelly, at least for this small part, it's almost serene for a second. But your short rest comes to a close as Lol finishes up talking about Flump Society and says to you all, "Well, I'm ready to lead you further if you're ready to go."
Take us away, Lol.
And Lol begins to kind of that weird oscillating, floating, almost kind of like a boat, like trudging away through the air as she leads you deeper into the sewers. You go for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, a whole hour, before you can see that the water from the sewer begins to speed up and starts to begin to head towards kind of a decline. Freddy, are you still using Jasper's pants for light?
I think we would have definitely recast it, so yeah, I would have picked her pants. Unless somebody else wanted light on them, in which case it's their pants.
With no objections, I believe, Jasper, your pants are once again alight. As you go down and this water begins to speed up, you can see that just on kind of the very end of kind of the dim light from Jasper's pants, you can see there is another T section. It appears it declines from where you guys are at for about 30 or so feet before the T section hits, but you can see about 5 feet above. So if you're like looking at this T intersection, right where all three meets on the back wall, you can see that it appears that there's a large like tunnel that instead is above where the water rises. The water doesn't seem to be flowing down it, and just ever so faintly you can see what looks to be the flickering of torchlight. And you hear in your voice and kind of the quietness of this, "This is where the other humans are." And you can, looking at it, no insight needed, you can see that this is the very same kind of tunnel T section that Zol was killed in before being washed the other way around.
Is this where we're parting ways then?
Yes, I think. Well, I'm not really a fighter. As you see, your like soft jellyfish body turns kind of a slight yellow for a second. But I'll
All right.
stay around for your success, and I definitely can help you back out of the sewers. Luckily, traversing in darkness in lots of crazy places is something us flumps are good at.
That'd be very helpful.
You are all being very helpful. I wish you
Well-
luck.
We don't need luck. We're the odd jobs. But thank you anyway.
Jasper starts moving in the direction of the torches.
Ja, can I get
Stealthily.
a marching order from you guys?
Last.
Jasper first.
Do we want to do the same thing with Jasper and then Jove? And I think we had Rory then Freddy? Or Freddy then Reddy?
Also, if this is an area without, like, super high water, we should cut our tethers.
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea.
And we'll just leave the shit rope in the sewers. Let's not take that with us.
Yeah. We'll write that off on taxes or something.
Taxes.
Actually,
Do they offer that? Is that a tax write-off from Mulmmaster? Shit rope? Okay.
Sure.
There are definitely
since I'm
taxes in
covered shit
Mulmmaster.
anyway,
Yeah, true.
I'm gonna hold on to my shit rope just in case I really want to be mean to somebody and
Ugh.
tie them up in shit rope. Anyway.
Use it as a gag. Use it as a gag.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of uses for shit rope, so we'll save it.
Just to
Yeah,
be
I wanna be
crystal
last.
clear, is that hole that you were talking about, Dom, like, how high off? And I guess the real question is Jove gonna have to, like, get a foot up to get up there, or is it at an angle where it's kind of coming down?
For Jove, you'll definitely have to, either get a running start and jump up and throw your body up or have somebody help you, just simply from its height. But it's not like a real climb.
Gotcha, okay. Cool.
So it does, there's the water that's running underneath it, and then about 5 feet up from like the water's edge is where this tunnel is. It doesn't seem to be made of the same kind of sewer stone and bits of like metal and like that the rest of the sewers is. It seems like it's been carved out. So the water does not run down that tunnel. In fact, it seems about the most dry place that you guys have seen in the last, 2 hours.
If you're behind Jasper, she'll help you up.
Perfect.
So probably Jasper, Jove, Rory, Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper, Jove, Rory, Freddy. Let me write that
Works
down
for
real
me.
quick. Okie dokie. So, stealthy is what I'm hearing.
Yes, please.
Alright.
I mean,
But we will attempt stealth.
yeah.
yes.
Go ahead and roll stealth party.
Well,
That's a 23.
23.
14.
12.
15.
15.
Oh wait, does scale mail have disadvantage? I always forget.
It does.
It does.
Okay. Shitty. That'll be a 16.
16. You guys make your way down through kind of the decline until you get right in towards the entrance of this tunnel. It's very much like the T section that you saw earlier. However, this having the kind of tunnel that's raised above out of the shit water. Jasper, you get to just kind of the lip of this, and you can barely see over. Make me a perception check.
Also, if we're going stealthy, I end light.
Good to know. Is now
My
dark.
passive is 9. I feel like that fucking Bart meme where the whole class turns to me.
Say the thing. My passive perception is 9. Yeah.
Except it's more of like a eh?
So, do I see anything worth seeing with a 9?
You peek your head above and you can see down the ways. It looks like there are a number of torches. This tunnel itself is looks like at once upon a time it might have been perfectly smooth. Some of the walls seem a little bit crumbled, but you can see clear signs that people have moved things out of here, cleared the way, and that there's torches leading down into it. Still clearly lit. However, you don't see anybody there at this moment. Coast
Now-
clear.
Just because I have the knowledge that troglodytes are here, could I just make an extra look at the ceilings? Just to make sure there's nothing crawling on the ceilings?
Roll me a nature check, because it's troglodytes.
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, it's only a 7.
7? Yeah, you're like, troglodytes on the ceiling? Of course. You look up towards the ceiling, and while there is a nice covering of mold and other sewage hangings there, you don't see anything on the ceiling.
Okay. She turns to the others and makes a kind of all's clear motion, and we'll keep moving.
All right. So, Jasper, at the front of this, do you climb up there?
Yeah, she would feel no reason not to.
You climb up and all good, easy enough. You do see Jove, and yeah, without your help, it would be an impressive feat for him to launch out of the shit water to jump up here, grab it, and then pull himself up. So you look back down, and Jove, you look up, and Jasper, you're like, that halfling vertical challenges.
Yeah, she'll get him.
So you reach a hand down and grasp Jove and pull Jove up, and Jove, you can see, as I described, it's a looking down, you can see a number of torches. In fact, Jove, give me a perception check.
Ooh, I will. Got my nice shield. Let's see here. Ooh, and I crit failed. Crit failed. Holy shit. So that is a 21 with my special shield.
You are looking down, you notice the same things Jasper does. It clearly looks like somebody's cleared out this area and set the torches. You could see that they have been burning for what looks like a little while. You can kind of see the marks that torches leave after burning for a while, that somebody's clearly been here for a couple days. And you're looking back down, and right as you look down, you catch just the slight shine of some sort of metal as two javelins come racing down at you and Jasper. For Jove, that is going to be a 20, and for Jasper, that is a 14.
Jasper's armor blocks it.
Yeah, you get struck to the side, and you can feel a javelin bounce off of you. Jove, however, you see this, and you almost kind of move the shield to make Jasper move and hit the heavier part of her armor. You, however, are not so lucky and take 6 points of piercing damage as it cuts deep into kind of the outside of your exposed arm. Not piercing, but cutting deeply, kind of underneath, like where your bicep, like the bottom tri part of your area. And
Yeah, Jove would probably yell out a yelp.
Perfect. Everybody go ahead and roll initiative.
That's what I was waiting for.
Oh, that's a natty 20.
Ooh.
Well, that's good.
Oh,
That's the last of the bad rolls, Jasper. I'm
Yeah.
crossing my fingers. That's the
You would
last one. You
hope.
got it out.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Jove and Freddy, which one of you guys wants to go first?
Joe can go first.
Yeah.
Jove, Freddy, or Jasp. And that's at 22, 22, 14, 6. So at the top is Jove. Jove, this tunnel is at its widest part. You're thinking probably 10 feet wide, probably only 7 or 8 feet tall. What Jasper missed, which you can now see, is hiding behind two of the torches about 30 feet down from you. You can see two individuals, both reaching back to grab another javelin. They are lightly armored. They almost look like they're wearing like sailors kind of gear. Although you can see that much of it seems to be stained with what you know very well to be sewage water and the likes. They almost kind of blend in with the walls themselves, but now that they're exposed, you can see the shine of slight metals and just ever so faintly on one of them a like square bluish green cut gem hangs from a necklace off of them as they go to reach for another javelin. But it is your move first.
Gotcha.
Dun, 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 dun. Jovich, go!
And I'm sorry, you said they were 30 feet down the tunnel, or did
Uh-huh.
you?
They're 30
Okay,
feet
cool.
away.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna move 15 feet forward in the 5-foot square behind me. I am going to use bonus action to cast Aquila in her lightning form, but directly behind me. So that will kind of flash out as it does, coiling around his arm. And in a flash, Aquila has now joined the battle. And then Jove is going to take out his own javelin. And did you say both of them were wearing a blue necklace or just one?
From what you can see right here, it appears the only one. It's some sort of blue-green, almost kind of like aquamarine. You're just kind of catching that color from the torchlight now that they've stepped out and engaged you.
Since Jove is in total fight mode, since that caught his eye, he's just instinctually going to be boom, that's his target. So he'll use his action to throw a javelin.
Go for it.
Ooh, that is going to be a 16.
Yep, that'll hit.
Excellent. And then I will use Aquila's reaction to add a d6 of lightning to it. So I imagine he's going to kind of hook this javelin and then almost like bring, fully extend through the right hand, bring that right palm down to the ground. So he's kind of almost like down on one knee so she can shoot the lightning over the top of him to catch it. So that is going to be for 5 lightning and 5 piercing.
Gotcha. And you can hear with almost like a sticky crackle as this returns, and you can see that you almost mirroring in the throwing arm of this individual cut deep into their bicep, almost returning it back. And you hear another kind of as it echoes through, and it's you can hear between Jove's kind of echoing and this echoing as it goes up and down the halls and magnifies it.
And then I'm gonna on Aquila's turn, she takes the dodge action, and I'm actually gonna have her just stay behind me. So kind of trying to keep her out of sight as best as he can. And that will be Joe's turn.
All right, then it is Freddy's turn.
That That's me. I'm gonna get on up there, and I'm going to look at them. It's just two of them that we can see so far.
Yeah, down there you see two individuals as you like pull yourself up. I mean, first things you see is the backside of Aquila, face to face, as she's right there. You have to kind of shuffle over and get to the side, and then get yourself up, and you can see two of them there. One is bleeding from a wound to the arm from Joe's attack, and the other one seems right as rain as they both are reaching for more javelins.
All right. I will, at the healthy one, cast Vicious Mockery.
Vicious Mockery. That is an 8.
That fails. So he takes 3 psychic and has disadvantage on his next attack. As I strum my lute and say, 2 dudes chucking javelins at people 5 feet apart because they are gay.
And as that kind of stream
Some
of
plan shit.
bardic energy goes out, it does seem to take hold of one of them, who then tries to like move farther apart and just kind of hits the side of the tunnel. It to be 6 feet apart. No. What? No, wait. But all right, gotcha. 3 damage, disadvantage. Any more movement from you?
You know, I'm gonna get back down.
Yeah, you see Freddy moves forward past you, Rory, climbs up there with a strum and a choice set of words, and then hops right on back down. Okie dokie. It is then one of those dudes' turns. The one that you hit Jove is gonna throw another. Actually, instead pulls out what appears to be a long sword, but it's got what appear to be almost bits. It looks like almost like barnacles have been shoved into the sides of it. Like, instead of having like a bladed edge, it just seems to be lots of like barnacles, almost like it's a living, like almost like the side of a ship is actually closer to it. As if somebody just took a plank that was covered in barnacles and turned it into some sort of melee weapon. As it closes the distance, it's going to strike you with it. Okay, that is an 18.
That meets.
All right. As it slashes down on you, Jove, you're going to take 8 points of slashing damage.
Ouchie.
And you can see as he like slashes, you get a good look, and it is indeed hanging from his neck. It seems to be kind of a square cut, aquamarine colored gem. But that's going to be its turn. Next is the other dude's turn, who's going to huck a javelin over at you, Jasper, with disadvantage. Yes, no, that's with disadvantage. That's only a 7. As it
Freddy.
goes way over your head. In fact, Freddy, as you like hop down, only a mere moment later, a javelin goes right over your head, and you hear a kind of a splash as it enters into the sewage water. But you're both clear of it, and that's going to be its turn. Then, moving on down is Rory.
Nice. Where I am, would I be able to possibly flank the one that just ran up and is in Jove's grill?
20.
Do I have space for that or no?
What's your movement speed?
40.
5, 15, and 25. Yeah, you could do so.
Nice. I will go ahead and do so and roll my attack.
Go for it.
So that's a 23, and we will go for the bonus. That one's only an 8.
So for what was the first one?
23 to hit.
23. Yes, and then the 8 does not hit.
Okay. Nice. So that is going to be for 8 bludgeoning damage as I get behind him and strike down with the staff.
Yeah, and you crack this dude right in the back of the head. He's just not prepared for your speed as you know, in one fluid motion, get out of the sewage water, kind of vault over Aquila, like run around the side, kind of almost running slightly on like the sides of the wall, kind of Prince of Persia style, before you dart across and with a single strike, whap, and get this dude right in the back of the head, as you kind of split the back part of it right on open. He looks incredibly dazed, but he's still on his feet.
Nothing else for me.
Excellent. And then it's Jasper.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna get up in his grill as well, and make her stealth attack, assuming I can get flank as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
If Rourke's behind the dude and Joe's in front of the dude, you can take the side of the dude.
Yeah. Good thing that's advantage. Doesn't matter. That's gonna be a 14.
A 14 just hits.
Found it. And keep. Okay. It's 12 slashing, or sorry, 13 slashing.
How do you want to do this?
Ooh.
Nice.
She's gonna, she's gonna really be sprinting like straight at the guy further back, and as she's passing this guy, she's gonna just make a wild cleave at his thigh and just take the whole damn leg.
Oh.
And without stopping, just the leg is removed from the guy. In fact, the leg almost continues to stand up straight as this guy crumples down, almost making like a pile with the one leg standing up there. Jove, you do get a just splurt of blood just right on the front of you, just right in the eyes. Since you are perfectly at the height for that.
She's gonna use the rest of her movement to get up in the grill of the second boy and pull out her shield.
All right. At the start of the rounds, it is actually at the start of the second round. You hear from deeper into the tunnel, "Hey, parley! Everybody, relax, parley! Knock it off. There's no need for fighting. Parley, please, parley, man, parley." As you can see, heading down is an individual. He's got dark skin. He's not quite tall enough to hit the top of this tunnel, but you could see if he was another half-foot taller, his head would definitely scrape the top of it. He wears a set of kind of orange and red robes, almost closer to a duster in style, with long black hair that moves. There's a certain amount of volume to it, even in kind of this sewage. And he is exceptionally clean. Like, not a speck of sewage on him at all. And you can see behind him is a number of more of these kind of sailor-looking, lightly armored javelin throwers. But before they get there, that's just at the start of the second round. At the tippity top is Jove.
Gotcha. So as Jove is stepping over this slain person in front of
This
him,
modern art of corpses.
Is it a? Does it look human? Like, does it look
Oh
straight up
yeah,
human or just
definitely.
humanoid?
In
Okay.
fact, roll me for fighting. Roll me a history check.
That is a 11.
An 11, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
history. Foreign to the Moonsea though. Definitely not a Moonsea person. Missing the kind of there's a certain amount of paleness that a lot of Moonsea denizens have. And they're definitely Moonsea citizens aren't typically this tall either. So you're not sure where, but definitely non-Moonsea resident.
Okay. Uh, Jove will. I guess what did the guy? So Jove is going to approach to where Jasper is coming, and he's going to be taking an aggressive stance while he is doing that. Is the person in front of Jasper like what's his posture like? You know, is he coming back? Does he look like he's gonna trade blows with Jasper right now? Like
It
what?
looks like that individual looks back with no hiding the annoyance that he looks back towards this individual and appears to be reaching for a shield that he's carrying instead of a javelin.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, Jove will get up on the other side. He wants to go equidistant to where Jasper is, but on the other side of the tunnel, and he's still got all of his shit out. And I guess he'll just yell out and say, um, uh, "Y'all started this, and now you're asking for parlay. Maybe you should have done that before you threw the first javelin." And he's going to ready in action, so he's still taking an aggressive stance. If he can see like the hand waves of any sort of spell casting, Jove is going to throw a javelin, and so that he'll hold his action, and then for
So
Akila's.
specifically, you're looking for hand waving the somat not somatic
That is somatic.
Somatic.
the
Yeah,
somatic.
somatic.
I'm like that's the right word. The somatic components of a spell is what you're holding your
Exactly.
action for.
Yes, precisely. So if
Got
he
it.
starts casting with his hands, so if he just says Fusro Da, well, fuck. But
If you start signing Fusroda, you're on it.
then I'm on it. I'm fucking on it. And then bonus action going to have Aquila dart up behind me and again hugging close to the wall, and she'll take the dodge action.
Gotcha. Readied up. Freddy, it is you.
I mean, if they're asking for parlay, I'll just stay down here and wait for more action. Actually, I will climb up and just kind of hide behind Aquila, and I will prepare a vicious mockery if anyone throws a javelin.
The schmockery on javelin chuckers. Got it. It is then the other individual who does indeed pull out a shield, uses their action to disengage and backs away towards the individual. It is now that individual's turn as well, and yeah, I get it, man. I get it, man. But hey, the sewers of Mulmmaster are a dangerous place, and we've been hunted and been hunting for the last couple days, so looks like you got the better of us. And he kind of looks towards the modern art that was a person at one point. So how about we all just take a minute, see if we can come to some amicable terms, all right? Guys, everybody, relax. And you can see that there appears to be four individuals that have come with them, all in that kind of same similar garb. And one of them goes, Oh, of course, Zora Tavish, whatever you say, most honorific. And there's like just this jeering behind as the rest of all kind of have their shields out. Definitely prepared, but they're not advancing. And the tall individual with the dark skin
They said
frowns
Zor
deeply.
Tavish?
Zora Tavish. Go ahead and roll insight for me, Jasper.
Okay. That's a 16.
16, definitely an insult. You know for a fact that whoever this is, they're definitely not a Zora or a Zor. And the fact that this very male individual is being referred to as Zora Tavish is quite clearly an insult. So, all right. Everybody cool? Can we have a moment to talk here? Everyone put their weapons down, keep your shields out, let's not be dumb, but like I said, parley, man, parley. As he kind of keeps
Jasper
his
keeps her
hands
shield put.
right on out in front of him.
She'll sheath her axe and or like a what do you call it when you put an axe away? I don't know. Anyway,
Sheath your axe
her
gets the
hand-
point across.
Yes. She's gonna have her hand resting very close to her Imix dagger.
I'll go down as your assailants have backed up. There's probably a good 30 feet. So it's like 30 feet back. There's the individual that you guys were engaged with, and behind him is this tall, robed individual, and then immediately back behind him, in a set of 2 and 2, is like 4 more of these kind of vaguely sailor-looking individuals. As they you can see them kind of punching each other in the arms, and they seem to be having quite a good time behind this kind of roped individual. So that's kind of their move. We'll move down to Rory. No, Freddy's up there. Yeah, so Rory is your move.
Nice.
You see it and watch all of this transpire.
Okay. I will move up to be like directly behind Jove and like near Jasper. Rory will he'll ease the staff. He'll still hold it with one hand. He'll kind of just like hold it more at ease. Rory will also though reach into his bag and just kind of just like palm a dart and kind of like hold that a bit behind his back.
Give me a sleight of
and-
hand check. If you're trying to, get that behind the back and be ready without causing a stir.
That's a 14.
A 14. The robed individual looks at you and with kind of a half-cocked grin, just kind of nods and doesn't say anything, but you feel very certain that he saw that move.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, Rory will just kind of hold that behind his hand. He will hold an action. He will only throw it if a member from that other party attacks anyone in our party. So he will directly throw that at whoever initiates on their side, basically.
You got it. And then at the bottom is you, Jasperino.
Jasper's not slick enough to do that, so her hand's just gonna be near her dagger. And she says, "So, you want to talk? Let's talk."
So for our purposes, we're going to hold on to that same initiative, but we are not in combat right now. If it does go into combat, we'll pick up with the same initiative. So we'll just let everybody have that in mind. But you say this, and the individual with still hands in front of him, you can see that he is a rather tall, if slightly lanky individual, easily above 6 foot, probably closer to like 6'6". I mean, almost similar in build to closer to like Throondrazi, but with just this big old beautiful like Jason Momoa lock of black hair that runs and hangs down. You can see that around his neck he has. Does everybody know what a torque is? A TORC.
No.
It
Collar,
is.
right?
Yes, it's a necklace that is holds close to the neck, closer to a collar, and you can see that it is brass in make, with little red square garnets kind of studded through it. So with hands raised. All right, man. Nice. Let's talk. You're right. Any good conversation starts with introductions. I'm Zan Thavish. Pleasure to meet you. And you all are?
They
We're
call
the
me
odd
Jasper.
You all answer at the same time. How about we be a little more specific, you know? I'm Zan, then you typically say I'm whatever it is all four of you guys said at once.
You can call me Jove.
Jove, nice to meet you, man. You and the
I'm
mask.
Rourke.
You and the other
Rourke.
mask.
We gave you 2 for 1. I think that's fair.
Sure, man, sure. So, I don't think there's any reason for us to be killing each other in this tunnel. Not when there are bigger fish, or in our case, troglodytes to fry. So, why don't we come to an arrangement? Maybe I can help you with what you're looking for, you could help me with what I'm looking for, and then nobody needs to have javelins or, in your guys' case, axes thrown into anybody. Right? Cool, man?
Well, what is it you're looking for?
Oh, me and my guys, and he says with no hiding the distaste. We're here looking for a tomb of a Kuatoa mystic. Everybody go ahead and roll. That one's going to be a history or an arcana at the word Kuatoa.
Is it in relation to Mulmmaster?
It is not in relation to Mulmmaster.
Okay. It was history
What
or
kind
what?
of rolls?
Arcana. Arcana or history.
It's an
Let's
8
see.
either way.
20 for history.
20.
13 history.
19 history.
Rory, more words you don't understand. Jove, Kuatoa, you're pretty sure that's a people, but not anything familiar. For Freddy and Jasper, you guys know that Kuatoa are a fish-like race of people. There are stories that they used to be very common in the Moon Sea when the Moon Sea was wild, like before Mulmmaster put its grip on the River Lys, that Kuatoa, these kind of primordial fish people, used to be the denizens of the Moon Sea. However, nowadays, they're the equivalent of, like, you know, the sirens at sea, like, or any sort of, you know, they're mostly spoken to as, like, sailor stories or things you tell the kids of Mulmmaster that, you know, if you stay out in the bay during a night with no moon, then the Kuatoa will come to the shores and give you gifts in exchange for your body. Stuff like that. So you all kind of think when you hear that. Yeah, man, there's supposedly, a couple hundred years ago, a Kuatoa mystic made a tomb down here, and we'd very much be interested in finding that. Taking over for the old head of this party, Verlotrath. Fortunately, Mulmmaster sewers are a real dangerous place, man, and he kind of sniffs sympathetically. I've had to take on the unfortunate burden of leading these guys to finish the mission. What are you all doing down here in the great sewers of Mulmmaster, man?
We were hired to clean it out by a sergeant of Mulmmaster.
Nice, nice. Well, does cleaning out also mean taking on troglodytes? 'Cause me and these guys are at a bit of an impasse.
What kind of impasse?
The kind where these troglodytes have set up camp in front of the tomb, and, well, we're at a bit of a stalemate. We can't seem to break through, they can't get past us. Now we're on
Well-
day 2 of this whole standoff, man.
Well, we're quite proficient in ranged combat, so perhaps we could give you supporting fire in your endeavor.
I mean, we definitely could use the extra firepower, man. These troglodytes, they're real nasty. You know, if they fall, they'll eat you, you know. Real pieces of work.
Well, don't go expecting us to lead the charge, and perhaps we can work together.
Perhaps maybe have a cut of this tomb.
Yeah, I mean, if... Are you looking to go into the tomb? 'Cause we could definitely work something out, but if you're not going to lead the charge, you're definitely not going to be taking what's in the tomb, you know. Fair's fair. Lost a lot of guys holding off this part. But I'm more than happy to work out a deal with you all. In fact, I'll invite you to our setup camp. You can take a look around. Maybe we can share a meal, get some of you cleaned up, 'cause, well, I can tell you guys waded through quite a bit of shit water to get here, man. And, you know, I'm a practitioner of the art. Could definitely get you cleaned up.
To be frank, we're in a bit of a rush.
Well, luckily there's not far to go from here to our camp. It's just down the tunnel. Why don't you go ahead and follow us there?
Insight check, can I do that?
You can go for an insight check.
Thank you. For fuck's sake. 3.
Yeah, seems about right. You know, doesn't seem to be any places in or out of this. Wouldn't be a terrible
Alright.
idea to check out, see what they're doing.
She turns to the others, see if there's any objections.
You can see a stern look in Jove's face. He doesn't look too happy about it, but he nods his head.
You can see Ronak's eyes kind of start to squint a little bit underneath the mask, but he does give a small nod.
And she, after that, she looks at you a little bit longer than normal and gives a short nod as well. And keeps, I guess, follows them at a reasonable distance.
You see, Zanzan smiles at you all, kind of gives a nice, you know, small nod, almost a bow, and all right, man, we'll lead the way. We'll let you guys have our backs. Therefore, if anything goes down, you got a great shot at our behinds. Sound about fair, man?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, not a problem. Would you mind, though, if I cleaned you guys up?
We
I'd
would
hate to drag
appreciate
any of that sewage
actually.
water into our camp, you know, man. And,
That
go ahead.
that would go a long way towards us warming up, I think.
Yeah. Keep friendly. Stoke that fire of friendship. Here. And, you see Jove, he does make the somatic components, for prestidigitation, and one by one, it's like your armor and clothes all become like hydrophobic and stench phobic as it just kind of like falls right on off of you, and there's the audible sound of probably a pound or two of sewage water coming off each one of you, and gets you Jasper, and then you Jove, and then Rory, and then you Freddy, without needing to really move forward to do so, and then I don't know what that kind of creature is, man, but it's real clean. Nice. Hey, small lizard.
I imagine Aquila just bares her teeth at that.
You can hear in her head, in your kind of channel that you guys share of,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a lizard, and then goes into a small little tirade of, I used to be giant slayer, and you're like, you hear that whole speech again.
Two things, buddy. I wouldn't call her a lizard, and be careful on prolonged eye contact. She's not a huge fan of that.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. No need to upset your other companions. All right, guys. Let's turn it around and head back to camp. We got guests, so be on some good behavior. And one of the individuals, oh yeah, you got it, Zora Thavish. We are the pinnacle of kindness and equity here. Equity's not the right word, you idiots. Oh, I'm sorry. You must be getting on Zanzan's good side. No, with the big words. And there's just kind of jeering and shoving. And as they're walking down, one like scrapes their foot against the bottom and kicks up a bunch of this rubble, just completely covering kind of the front of Zanzan. And he's not cool, man. And you see him do another prestidigitation, and the kind of rubble, dust, and other things on the ground kind of slide off the front of his robes, once again in his clean state, as they begin to head deeper and deeper into the tunnel.
If you don't mind me saying, they don't seem to respect you too much.
Yeah, well, the feeling's pretty mutual, man. As I said, this wasn't my bag. I had to take over after Virlo, perished. These troglodytes, they're real nasty. So, somebody has to lead them. Unfortunately, me and them don't really like that idea. But it's either that or let these troglodytes take a chunk out of you. I can handle their jokes. And you can see that there's definitely no love between the kind of individuals under his employ and himself. A very open hostility between the two of them. You continue down for only about 10 or so minutes until you see the kind of, it's almost like an antechamber. You can see that there are what looks to be a number of like bedrolls spread out, small pit fire with kind of a on the verge of petering out kind of embers and coals in there. But what really hits you guys is the smell. So it's no longer kind of the smell of sewage. It's dry in here. You don't really hear any like active rushing water besides what's coming down from the tunnel behind you guys. But the stench is a new sort of foulness. It's like sweat and filth, and not so much like excretions, just more of like a being that's never been washed. Um, in fact, roll insight, everybody.
That is my 4th crit fail that I've rolled tonight. Thank God I'm a halfling.
That's just a 7.
18,
13.
Which kind of roll?
13. Insight,
16.
16, 13, 7, and
10.
10.
Mhm.
Everybody but Rory immediately remembers this smell from your time at Fort Iron, and some of the creatures that you fought in where you found the seeds of fell earth. That you did indeed fight some troglodytes there, and the smell theirs is much more wet than the ones you fought there, but it is unmistakable, the smell of troglodyte. As you bring it back, there is Zan, the 5 individuals with him. You can see continue on past this kind of widened antechamber. Another probably 100 feet away or so, you can see what looks like to be a barricade deeper down the kind of tomb. It looks like it's been constructed out of rubble and maybe some other parts that have been excavated. Some larger stones have been moved there, and you can see 2 more of these kind of sailor types are posted up, javelins in hand, peering into the darkness. While this area is got, between the torchlights and kind of the embers of this dying kind of, fire pits, it is lit in here, and you can see everything just fine. Well, welcome to our base camp, man. Wish I could call it something clever, but words escape me.
Yeah, we're not much for talking either, as you might be able to tell.
Hey, that's all right, man. You talked enough to make it so we didn't throw javelins at each other in a small tunnel, so that's a bonus.
I mean, we were doing that. It was you that said the right words. The words being, "Hey, stop throwing the javelins."
I think the exact words I used is parlay, but I get what you mean, man.
Yeah, but we're not fucking pirates.
You don't need to be pirates to parlay. Do I look like a pirate
Not
to
French either.
What's French?
What is French?
Everybody, suddenly there's a chorus of, what's French?
Yeah.
Huh?
Mhm.
What?
Oh, like
Wait.
French fries.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
What is
Oh,
Jasper? What does French fries have to do with parlay?
yeah,
a
man.
long
What does French
story.
fries have to do with parlay?
It's an old wives' tale. Anyway.
Well, here, all right, why don't we get this fire going a little bit more? We'll sit, we'll talk, we'll come to an agreement, and then maybe we can get cleared out of here, crack open that tomb, and get out of these sewers. I'm sick of the smell, man.
Definitely.
So he
All right.
goes over and grabs what appears to be, just rags and a bit of wood and other stuff, and kind of tosses it in there, and a small fire starts and heats up, and it kind of at least burns off some of the smell. It's not a particularly good smell, but it's not worse by any means. And Zan kind of sits down, crisscross applesauce. Even sitting down, Jove, he can still look you dead in the eyes. And kind of almost lounges back a little bit on kind of one arm. And all right, so let's have some negotiations. What's your guys' asking price?
Well, since you're willing to allow us to back you up rather than lead the charge, we're happy to just have help clearing this place out because we're gonna get paid for that. So,
And the portion of the tomb.
Portion of the tomb, huh? Well, if it's a portion of the tomb you want, you gotta fight side by side, not just back up.
You
He
saying that
doesn't
our
speak
backup's
for
not
all of
good
us.
enough to our backup's not good enough to get you in? Do you just not need us?
I mean, I also don't want all my guys to die and then just be left with the four of you. I mean, let's be honest here. What's gonna stop you guys from using that axe to cut up my backside once all my guys die?
to be honest, I think me and my friends like you more than your friends do.
Yeah, well. Think friend's kind of a misnomer here. I'd be happy to watch him take a troglodyte bite to the neck, but things gots to get done. And I know how I'm gonna carry whatever we find in there if it's just me. I don't want to make you guys do it either. You guys about to be flush with coins, right?
Yeah. We've done a lot of fighting today, so we'll back you up. You keep your tomb treasure. Call it square.
Alright, what are your guys' kind of abilities besides, making dudes' legs not attached to their body anymore? Which you gotta say, macabre, but strong work, man.
I don't take kindly to people who hurt my friends. But besides dismemberment, I can throw a mean axe.
Nice.
And I can throw a javelin better than any of your guys, as you could have told there.
I'm best with my hands and up close as he taps on his staff.
And what about you, dude? Over there with the instruments and stuff. Don't suppose you're gonna tell me that you're a big javelin thrower either.
No, I just play my instruments and stuff.
Ah, you a bard, man?
Yes, I am a bard.
You practice the art?
I mean, when my fingers aren't broken, yeah.
Ah, tough break, man. But hey, alright. That's pretty valuable. Alright, how about
What about
this?
yourself?
Oh, me, man? I am practitioner of the art. I know how to sling a spell or two, Definitely enough to keep myself out of harm and to keep myself looking presentable. Just for cases just like this, but, I'm no big fireball chucker if you're looking for that. Fact, it'd be much easier if I could huck a fireball in there. Wouldn't need to wait at all, but not really my forte, man.
Then what is your forte? Just throwing around spells here and there? What kind of spells? Let's get a little more specific if you don't mind, if we're going to be, engaging in combat together.
Oh, I'm not engaging in combat, man. Not really my bag, I'm more of a charmer, an enchanter, I keep stuff clean. I talk nice to other people. Diplomacy, man. If I could just huck down a bunch of spells and kill stuff in front of me, I wouldn't need these guys to shit my breakfast every day.
I guess I will mention, if we are going to be backing you up, if you're in a pinch or someone's going down, I have ways that I could help you back up.
Nice. So I could throw a couple spells out there, Someone like the big classics. You ever heard of Magic Missile? Never misses. I don't like to gamble too much when it comes to slinging out what might very well save your life. I know how to get myself out of danger, sure, just fine, but You know, if you're looking for evocation wizard, sorry man, that's not me. So, you guys are martially inclined, a little bit of spell power, a little bit of my spell power. How about we do this in kind of a wave? I'll send those 4 dudes in first, let them pull out some troglodytes. You guys can back them up and we'll harry about it. And we'll just take it chamber by chamber till we get to the tomb. You know, I hope you understand if I keep 1 or 2 guys by me in the back. You know, just in case, but then, you
How
know,
many
at
guys
least
do
our
you have?
forces are split. Let's see. Those 4 guys, 2 at the barrier, and then, well, I did have 2 guarding the tunnel, but there's only 1 now. But hey, don't worry about it. Stuff like that happens. I don't hold it against you, I promise. Now,
Okay.
and he kind of gets lower. I won't say the other guys won't hold it against you, but fuck
I'm
'em.
not concerned about them.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest, but sometimes you don't get to choose who you work with when you want shit done. Anyways, why don't I send in those 4 guys forward? I'll keep the 2 at the barrier, and I'll send that other guy back out to the front tunnel, just in case. I just don't think we're gonna run into another group like you, huh? Well, a little bit of whiles ago, we had some weird tentacle creatures pop up behind us. Almost snuck up on us, too.
So, in regards to that plan, we would essentially be leaving that person to die, essentially, when we could send them against the troglodytes. Because if we continue forward into the tomb, can you and the two guys who are staying with you not watch our backs?
Oh, we definitely watch your backs, but we'd be moving forward, man. Who knows what's gonna come out through that tunnel? I mean, I've seen things made out of mold, tentacle creatures. Plus, I hear in Mulmmaster sewers they got giant gators in here. You know, I guess we could hold that, but
I think anything that's gonna find him is gonna be faster than him, so he should probably be within eyesight.
well, that's just how it's gonna be. If he gets killed out there, then that just means he's weak. Sucks to suck, I guess. At least
Yeah,
we'll
but I
hear his
also
screams
wanna
down the
be-
tunnel first, right? I mean, I heard when you guys threw that other javelin that was down the tunnel definitely wasn't ours, so it's real hard to sneak up on people down here with the whole acoustics.
Unfortunately, you've already told us that you're a bit of a sweet talker, and I'm not just gonna go along with that. So he's gonna stay within eyesight, or we're gonna have to call it quits on this whole talking thing.
Hey, that's up to you, man. If you guys want to turn around here, that's fine. But you guys won't have your job done. And I guess I'll just be stuck here. Kinda at impasse on that one. Jasper, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Any chance she could change her posture to turn that into intimidation?
You may certainly try.
Okay. Yeah, 13.
Hey, I don't know exactly where you're from. I'm gonna assume topside of Mulmmaster, but you may throw spears and got one of our guys, but you're outnumbered here, and frankly, I'm not taking any more shit. Not from these guys and not from you. I want to get this done, but I'm not gonna eat shit to do it.
I get it because we're in a sewer.
Yeah, real clever. Thanks, man.
Tell me, how many troglodytes have you seen down here that are not dead, I should say?
Probably closer to about a dozen, man.
Well, shit, we're not doing that alone. So fine.
All right. Nice. Nice. Well, I don't know about you, but if we're all in agreement, let's send these guys down there and let's fucking kill some troglodytes. Let's see what this tomb's got. Not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to see what's inside. The Kuatoa, they're like mythical, man. I've heard stories that they could believe stuff so strongly, they could make it just like appear. I don't know if that's true, but I'm definitely interested in finding out. You know, knowledge, real important to somebody in the art. So Zanzan stands up and offers a hand over to you, Jasper.
Jasper stands. And turns to move forward.
All right, man. Offers the hand over to you, Freddy.
I'll take it.
Nice, man. You're pretty
Cool,
funny.
man. And you've got a nice way about you in general.
Thanks, man. Been too long down
Problem,
here.
man.
Everybody's real mean.
Real down in the dumps.
Yeah, man, yeah.
We got poop jokes all day, don't we?
We're gonna get into the shit, you know?
Oh my god.
Hey, up until the point the shit hits the fan, then we gotta take things seriously.
Well, let's not put up with too much crap from one another or these troglodytes.
Jasper is struggling so hard to not show that she's laughing right now.
The mask helps. Covered glory.
Just like trying to keep her shoulders steady.
All right.
Yeah, sorry about her. She can have a stinky attitude.
Hey, I get it. This place really puts the poop in the pants.
That hits me personally for reasons I will not explain now.
I like you, man. I hope that this works out well.
So do I. I don't think it'll work out perfectly, but nothing ever does it?
Nah. You're so right. You're so right. I want to make
Alright,
another
man.
poop joke, but I think I've just crapped on out of them.
I was gonna say your face already did that for you, but
I would ask you to stand up when you're talking to me, but you know, I think that's about as tall as you get.
alright, this is starting to get a little far away from poop, huh?
You could say we're at the tail end of it. No need to make more
Alright.
butt of jokes.
Do you have a list of these?
He's just making an ass of himself at this point.
Oh my.
So, with that conversation tucked away from the logs, you move towards the barricade. Zanzan directs the individual you guys engage with to go back towards the tunnel. The two at the barricade look over, notice you guys, and look back into it. Four of the individuals, Zanzan kind of goes to them and they there's a sense of resistance, not to the fight itself, but to just listening to Zanzan in general. Apparently, they clearly do not find him as nearly as charming as other people do, but they do. There is a kind of a fervor now that they're moving forward. So they grab shields, some grab more of those kind of like barnacled pieces of wood. Others grab javelins, and a set of four of them, kind of 2 by 2, move out past the barricade. One of them holding a torch to illuminate, as past the barricade it is nothing but complete darkness. What is your guys' marching order, as they're kind of leading the way?
Same as before, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got no changes.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you guys kind of enter this part of the tunnel, the ceilings begin to rise up, going from, in this one room is about 10 feet, the tunnel only being 7 feet tall. But here, they start to get even taller. The structures seem to get older. Things are more smooth, less stonework, and more like carvings of lots of small hands over time, rising up to at least 20 feet at some like the highest points. And as you head kind of deeper and deeper into this, Zanzan, of course, right behind you, leaving kind of the two individuals at the barricade, following you guys kind of down into this. You can see after a couple of minutes this kind of they're the type like when you see like old Greek stylized like carvings on walls. I think they're called bas reliefs, where depicting these kind of humanoid fish individuals that you assume are the Kuatoa. They range from just like almost like portraits or like groups of them in some sort of worship to, as you go deeper into it, you can see that the depictions are them of summoning like large waves and drowning individuals and just other kind of macabre scenes of water-based might. As you continue down, for about 5 minutes, the tunnel opens up into kind of another large chamber, very similar to the one that Zanzan and his guys have set up. The four kind of individuals slow their pace right as they get to the entrance, and it's quiet. The only sound being the kind of burning from the torch that one of them carries, and two of them kind of step forward. The smell, that kind of troglodyte smell now, is huge. It's just taken up residence deep in your sinuses. It doesn't matter which direction. It seems like it's coming from the walls, from the ceiling, from the floor. Just all of it just seems to be troglodyte in nature. The two more of these individuals kind of enter into the room, torches out, illuminating this antechamber. It seems to be the same kind of this 30 by 30 square room, tall domed ceilings on it. More of that kind of bas-reliefs artwork around the sides with some small cracks and carvings here or there, and it's quiet. You look around. You guys only probably, 15 or so feet back, not quite entering the room yet, and they look around, and it seems pretty clear as they start to kind of jostle each other, rib each other into the ribs. One kind of smacks the back of one of them with the kind of wooden plank, not enough to injure, but to get him moving forward, and there's just kind of this rough laughter. As they continue to the other side, you see another tunnel. As they reach the other side, there is a flash of movement, and what looked like to be grayed out, almost kind of slick-looking pieces of the wall change and move into kind of this humanoid, weirdly reptilian yet strangely Piscine in nature creatures reach out and grab one of the individuals, and suddenly on both sides, they're pulled to the side as the third one comes down through the tunnel and runs at them. Can everybody roll initiative? 1, 5. Okay, easy this time. Jove. Freddy.
I rolled lower, Jasper.
Jasper. Rory. Okie dokie. You see that each one of the two kind of frontmost guards have been pulled off to the sides. You can see that they each take a looks to be a heavy bite straight to like the upper shoulders, almost towards the nape of the neck, as they kind of cry out as this third one begins moving at kind of full speed before leaping onto one of these guards. But he's able to keep his shield up and stop himself from being knocked prone. At the start of the round is actually Jove.
So, I would like to. I'm gonna target the one that leapt at the center guy, and I'm going to use bonus action to cast a hunter's mark and target that one. I will go ahead and use my action to throw javelin at that one. That is going to be only a 14.
A 14 against one of the troglodytes. That, I believe, does hit.
Excellent. And then I'll go ahead and have Aquila use her reaction to spit her lightning spittle onto my javelin. So that will be 5 lightning and 10 piercing.
Yeah, how do you want to do this?
Oh, beautiful. So, like, I imagine that this thing, like, tried to jump on the guy and he got his shield up and it's kind of like clawing at his shield and it's really paying attention to our little soldier man. And I'm able to just get that troglodyte right in the kind of the collarbone. So it's almost like I just like spit roast the thing off the dude's shield.
Yeah, and there's this awful kind of ionized burning smell that kind of leaps through here. It's almost a nice change of pace from kind of the oppressive stench of these creatures, as it just absolutely murders the thing in front of you, hitting the ground with still quite a bit of forward momentum. The guy with the shield actually steps to the side as the troglodyte body keeps rolling and lands not far in front of you guys.
Then I'm going to have on Aquila's turn, I just kind of want her to, she's been kind of at my rear, so I'm going to have her just go up to the side so she's in front of me and kind of like off to the right. And she's going to use the dodge action because she has to do that, and that will be turn. So we'll go ahead and stay put.
Okie dokie. After that, it's the two guys who are engaged with these troglodytes as they're going to try to break the grapples. One of them is able to shove the creature and kind of back up into the room and give some space. However, the other one, with it so close, you can see that he inhales from the scream of getting bitten, and immediately there's this foaming at the mouth, like he just immediately throws up over the shoulder. It's this awful, intimate embrace of blood and vomit, like falling off the back of this troglodyte over as he is currently fails and is currently poisoned by the stench of the troglodyte, and it just looks like he's just being racked by just like his whole body trying to expel the stench of this creature. Even with like the torchlight illuminating, you can see that his skin has gone pale and green in strange places, and these troglodytes now in kind of the light almost have this strange like Komodo dragon motif to them as far as like their scaling patterns and just the strangely brute force of them as he fails that. Is currently poisoned. Then it is Freddy's turn.
Me. How many troglodytes are in front of us right now?
There's one dead, and then two in front of you.
Okay. We're just gonna do vicious mockery.
The one engaged with one of these dudes, or the one that is currently not engaged? We'll say that's the one on the left. The one that's engaged is on the right.
We will do the one not engaged, because he's more likely to attack one of my party members.
That is a 7. Nope, troglodyte. That's a 6.
Takes 2 psychic damage and has disadvantage on his next attack.
Got it.
As I just shout stinky lizard at him.
His feelings seem incredibly hurt.
Good.
2 psychic. Got it. I assume you're going to stay put?
Yep. Posting up at the back.
Gotcha. Then it is, let's see, 17, 15. One of the other individuals moves forward to engage with the one that she hit with vicious mockery and swings their kind of wooden barnacle blade and cuts into this troglodyte, doing a bit of damage, but you can see the barnacled wood's having a hard time cutting into this creature for a bit of damage. Then it is Jasper.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna pull out one of her hand axes. And she's gonna. I imagine Rory is about to pass by her to get in a bit closer, and as he does, she's gonna say, as like quietly but loud enough for him to hear her, "Save your healing for us," and she's gonna throw an axe at a troglodyte.
Go for it.
Ooh, that's 23.
23, yeah, that definitely hits.
Yeah, that is just a d6. So that's wait. Do I get sneak attack since I have an ally within 5 feet of it?
Within the one that got hit with the vicious mockery,
Yeah.
does not have anyone within 5 feet of it.
Oh,
What about the
sorry.
guy that just went to
Yeah.
engage it?
Oh, yeah, you're totally right. That is so true. So,
Boom.
yes.
Good looking out, Mikey. Cool. It's gonna be another d6 damage.
Are you
cool, that
using a
makes it
hand axe?
worthwhile.
Because that's not a.
Oh,
does-
that's not a finesse weapon. You're correct.
Uh-huh.
So that's only 3 slashing.
3, gotcha. Yeah, and you, it sticks right into the arm of this creature just with a solid, and it makes out kind of a, but deeper, almost kind of bassier, like.
Yeah, and yeah, she's gonna start moving in a bit closer, but nowhere near melee range.
Gotcha. Okie dokie. Then it is the troglodyte that is grappled with that guy. Makes it with advantage. Oh, yeah. Takes another huge bite out of this guy, especially since he's poisoned right now, and is just tearing into this guy. And it's this awful blend of both screaming and vomiting all at the same time as this troglodyte is savaging this guy. It makes.
Tearing up that guy when I'm with you.
I'm not gonna take any points, but I'm not gonna give you any points for that either. But you can see that both the bite and now claws are being in. He's just ripping into one of these individuals, just chunk after chunk after chunk. That's about how many on that. And then at the bottom is Rordak.
Alrighty. Rornak will make his way over to that troglodyte that is messing up the dude that just got the big bite and poison on him. And Jasper, you definitely feel Rory's eyes look your way as he's passing by, as he does receive your message. And so I believe I have the distance to make it there, so I'll take my attack.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a 17.
That'll hit.
Nice. And we will do a bonus attack too. That'll definitely hit. That's a 23.
Yes, both will hit.
Wow, rolled as low as possible though. So altogether, that is only 6 bludgeoning damage.
6. Gotcha. What's really stopping you is you're trying to hit this creature without hitting this individual as well. And
Yeah.
The slickness of the blood and vomit is just not allowing you to get purchase. So you're making contact, but not as solidly as you would like, as you're trying not to accidentally murder this dude with your fists. Or bow staff, as the case may be.
That definitely makes sense. I also thought like this would probably be really awkward if I missed while swinging at this guy. So that lines up.
Yeah, he's going to try unsuccessfully to break that grapple since he's still poisoned. Oh yeah, that's real bad. You can see that this troglodyte is quickly has already the advantage, but is getting closer and closer to the kill on this individual. Zanzan's gonna wait and see how this all turns out, so he's gonna hold. Back to the tippity top of Jove.
Jove is going to bonus action move Hunter's Mark to the troglodyte that Rornak just struck, and then is going to throw a javelin down. If I need to use a little bit of movement to like move laterally to get a better angle on it, Jove will do so.
Most definitely. This one's a hard shot because you've got Rory right there, the troglodyte moving past one of the guys in the middle, and then the guy that he's currently brutalizing. So this is going to be a difficult shot, but you can move around to get a good beat on it.
Yeah, he'll try and line it up even if he has to kind of go forward and at an angle a little bit. But yeah, so he'll go ahead and throw that javelin. Ooh, that's a halfling crit fail there.
Another 2.
That's a 2 for 6.
For 6, yeah. This it's you're trying not to hit Rory or this guy, and you're trying to feather it in there, but it just goes way higher than you were hoping, and you can hear it hit the kind of the back wall up above towards these kind of more dome ceilings. It does not make purchase.
And Jove will try and use as much movement as he can to get back to his original place, and then have Aquila again now in front of him. She'll take the dodge action, and then that is turn.
Gotcha. Moving on down. Am I going way down? There's that first troglodyte. He's gonna try to get the dude with the sword. He makes a couple of attacks. This time without disadvantage. Alright, 2 of them hits. He doesn't get the bite, but he starts ripping into another one of Zan's guys. The one with the sword engaged with him. You can see him kind of do one claw and then another one in kind of an X pattern, and they dig deep into the chest and pull outwardly. Blood starting to spill down from him. So that is 9, 10. Got it. Oh, that's a bit pen. Perfect. So that's its move. That one's dead. It's gonna try to rebuttal with another strike. Pass the con, so he doesn't have to do that. It's 15. He returns the kind of slash marks with another one of this barnacled weapons strike. However, once again, it just doesn't seem to be doing as much damage to these troglodytes as they're hoping. So moving back down, it is now Freddy's turn.
We still have 2 up, correct?
Indeed.
Okay. How are they looking?
They both look like they've taken some wounds, so they're not at peak fighting power. What you notice more than anything is while they are still sizable humanoid creatures, they look famished and seem to be appearing to favor biting and swallowing pieces of their enemies rather than just going for kills. There's a hunger to them.
Then let's do a sleep to hit both of them.
Absolutely.
Do 5d8.
If never mind.
That's 28.
Yeah, they both out. As they Ja. They're both currently asleep.
Not really much of a exotic caster, but he just kind of just strums like a lullaby tune on his little. What am I doing? A harp now or a lute? It's a harp.
Yeah, the magic immediately springs out, and these troglodytes with their strange, almost like Piscean-like eyes, both shuts, and there's a thump thump as they both hit the ground, currently asleep, making this weird snoring rumble noise. You can actually almost kind of feel it reverberate through the floor of the chamber.
All right, finish them, boys.
And with them both asleep, they hear those words, and the rest of the standing guards fall upon these troglodytes, and they are just immediately butchered. Just
While they're doing that, Jasper's gonna walk up to Freddy and smack him in the back of the head.
go ahead and roll an attack.
Yeah.
Unarmed strike.
Fucking 5.
A 5. You go and
It's not even looking.
yeah, still a strike. You get touched to the top of the head. It's not like a real good like dope slap you're hoping to. It's more of like you just whiff the top of his head. You can feel a little bit of scratch of like her kind of gloves gauntlets on the top of your head. Definitely noticeable. You forget how short he is. Any response from that move?
I'm just asking what.
You are so fucking thick. And she just moves forward.
The guys finish up butchering these troglodytes. You can see the one that failed is his skin has gotten sallow. He's pale, covered in liquids, both all of his own liquids. A large kind of chunk missing from the upper parts, and Zanzan goes over. Hey man, you're looking pretty bad there. Rough. And he kind of spits, and some of it lands on Zanzan, and you can hear kind of a gurgled response, but it's interrupted by another just kind of body racked by throwing up. Well, I guess you're pretty useless now, huh, man?
Yeah, I'm afraid that's beyond our friend's healing, so.
Yeah. Why don't you head on back and switch out with one of the barricades, man, since you're, useless. And the rest of the dudes kind of all turn and start kind of hard glaring at Zanzan as he kind of goes to help this individual up. And you're a strong dude. You don't need my help, right? You don't want it from a Zora Thavish, right, man? The rest of you, let's keep it moving. Nice work with that javelin there, throw, man. Real good work. I didn't know you and your scaly friend over there worked in tandem so well. Real cool, man.
Told you I was the best.
And you're proving it. Nice. So the three of his guys reform into kind of like a triangle with one dude holding the torch in the back. They help up their individual, and they whisper a couple words to him. Everybody go ahead and roll a perception check.
12.
14.
17.
Most of you guys don't hear what exactly is whispered. Freddy, you hear just a little bit, just a faint. Maybe it's time to get rid of this guy. And then that's about it. As the heavily injured individual kind of like nods to him, you could see him kind of take an uneasy step, dry heave whatever's left liquid from his body, clutch the kind of big bite wound towards the shoulder and neck, and lean on the wall and start making his way back towards the camp. Taking one last look to go glare over at Zanzan before continuing down the tunnel. All right, that's one chamber done, man. So I count 3 of them. 3 dead. Nice, man, nice. All right, let's lead the way, right, guys? No need to be scared of some troglodytes, huh? And you can see that there's a certain amount of relish Zanzan is taken out from watching some of these guys get absolutely brutalized by these troglodytes. They return kind of hard stares and of course, Zora Thavish, most honorable, so clean Thavish, as they begin to head forward down into the next kind of tunnel. I assume you guys are going to take the same marching speed?
Yep.
Excellent. You head down, and you see more of the same kind of boss reliefs, more of these Kuatoa kind of what seems to be different rituals and communing with humanoids made out of water. Less warfare and more like worship and conversations. you head for another couple of minutes before you see the tunnel widens out again into another antechamber. And what you see, what you instead of seeing, what you all hear loudly from here is the sound of bones cracking, and this awful kind of sucking noise as you come upon this next chamber. Inside, immediately illuminated by kind of the torchlight of this, you can see another pair of troglodytes, and they are breaking and sucking the marrow out of what appear to be bones in the center of this. And as soon as these individuals enter, and the light of this torch kind of fully illuminates them, and you can see that these ones look thinner than the ones at the front. They look, even for troglodytes, malnourished, and they immediately begin charging forward towards the torchbearer. However, this time, the ones at the front are more ready for the imposing assaults, and are able to shrug them back off. We're just going to keep the same initiative here that we did for the last ones as we move through these chambers. So it starts off at the top with Jove. As you can see, this time, instead of immediately getting grappled, the two at the front hold their shields and are able to keep these troglodytes at bay. And these ones are in a frenzy, not trying to, using their claws to try to rip the shields away and put their mouths to bite into the kind of front guards.
Yeah, Jove will ready himself a javelin. He's still concentrating on Hunter's mark, so if there is one that I don't know is a clearer shot, he will choose that one, and then he'll go ahead and throw that javelin.
Yeah, you can choose the one on the left or right. You'll have to go around to kind of get a side shot at this, but it's a much easier shot. No one's like pinned or being grappled with these creatures like the last room.
Beautiful. Yeah, well, I'll take the left.
Go for it. Throw that javelin.
Oh, there we go. That is a 19.
19.
And I
Got it.
I'm assuming that's a hit. Yep. Indeed. And then going to use Akila's reaction to add the D6 of lightning to this one. A little bit of extra pow. So that's 5 lightning and another 10 piercing. Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, yeah. 10 piercing for a total of 15.
For a total of 15. Yeah. How do you want to do this? It's the same exact number you rolled for the last one.
Yeah, right. We're going straight like if they're up and extended and are trying to like pull down the shields, trying to go for that armpit area, see if he can just like pop that heart, especially with a little bit of that extra lightning juice on it, just to keep him, kill him as quickly as possible.
In a way that is very similar to how you killed the troglodytes at Fort Iron. You get underneath that arm and kind of a weird angle, and you can see it stick out the other side. Just a little bit of beating, muscly heart at the other end of your javelin as it pumps twice and the creature hits the ground.
I will use whatever movement I have left to, get back towards the back line. Akila will be in front of me yet again, taking the dodge action, and that will be our turn.
Excellent. This time, the guys are not messing around. They flank this troglodyte and begin. This time, without your guys' help, they, with javelins in hand, spear from the front, the back, and then with an overhead from the torch, just bring this torch on top of the troglodyte's head and then just hold it and force it down, but its body is still being held up by these two javelins, and it just kind of burns all the way, and for a second the torch extinguishes from just the wet insides of this troglodyte. And you hear, fuck. And it goes dark for only a few moments, as you can hear the sounds of javelins being pulled out from this troglodyte, the sounds of a malnourished body hitting the ground, and there's just that stench once more. And you can hear Zanzan behind you, Joe, go, "Man, nice with the javelin again. He's not kidding. That's nice, man. That's real nice."
Going for the turkey.
A few moments later, the torches reignited, and you see the three remaining individuals, Zanzan, and of course you all in this antechamber, and you can see that now that looking around, there is a number of bones. They've all been cracked open, and all the marrow's been sucked from them. You can see have lots of like bite marks on them, and they just kind of litter this room. You see bits of bone shards just scattered around. Not a single piece of flesh left in here besides the ones that have just been created. But the room is now empty. Well, all right, man. That's 2 more. That's 5. Yeah, it was a great idea bringing you guys along. Thanks, man. I could see how you
made
guys
a good
made
call
it.
not making enemies of us.
Yeah, I'm real happy about it. Wish I had you guys from the start instead of these guys. And as soon as he says that, the three of them kind of all like in unison turn and, "Yeah, is that so, Zora Davish? Why don't you fuck off? Sit in the back here with your new friends. Why don't we just leave you the fuck alone, then you can clear out the rest of these troglodytes? Hey, man, hey. Listen, I know you're just scared. It's not a big deal. Your courage isn't being called into question here. Relax. We're all gonna get what we need done." And there's that moment of very palpable tension as these already armed individuals all kind of stare down Zanzan, and he is just cool, calm, kind of leans back, and as you can see, instead of having his hands out, he puts it to a side, and you can see you can see what looks to be a spell book of sort that's already been unclapsed, and it's open, and he just kind of lightly has a hand on it. "Hey man, don't you think we've got bigger things to do than fight amongst ourselves? I mean, imagine how hard this would be without them, right, man? It'd be terrible if we burned things up so badly right now." A few more moments of this tension.
Jasper moves her hand to her axe, just kind of in the direction of the 3 angry boys.
One of them looks to you. "You really like listening to this pompous asshole? No good in a fight, only good at talking circles? At least you all could fucking fight. All he does is fucking talk."
He reminds me of a family member of mine. That's all there is to it. So keep on walking, boys.
Go ahead and roll me an intimidation check, Jasper.
Sure. Hey, finally. Intimidation's gonna be a 22.
And it looks to you, and it's just that your current mask and just the hard words, the hand on the hilt of the axe, and The tension doesn't diffuse, but yeah, all right. But tell Zora to Avish over here to keep his fucking mouth shut.
Jasper turns back to Zora. Same thing. She kind of says a word and like kind of pulls him over to the side.
Yeah, man.
All right. I'm gonna ask you this once, because now you know I'll stand between you and them. What are these necklaces?
Roll me a persuasion check, but with advantage.
Thank you. Fuck sake, 10. That's the thing I'm good at.
Listen, man, those guys, they're dirty water worshipping. Looks to the side, gets real close. Bitches. They're just upset that they're fucking useless, and that you guys not only fought your whole way here with half the numbers, but have also been kicking ass the whole time. Listen, if it really goes down sideways, I'd be more than happy to let you guys take their place, man.
He walks back to the group.
Yeah, go ahead, Jasper. Give me an Arcana check.
Sure. I'm gonna scream. That's a 4.
Yeah, no, you look and you see one of them's got this necklace. You notice that they've got, a couple tattoos that have been shown, very much like sailor tattoos. The water motifs are pretty strong on them, but you're more concerned what you think is a growing mutiny here.
So you said, does Zanzan have tattoos like that, or is it just
Zanzan does not
those
have
guys?
any tattoos. He seems, besides his hair, which is long and, that kind of in between where it's like, it's unkempt, but it looks like it's made that way. It's supposed to look unkempt. But besides that, he does not appear to have like any tattoos or like big gaudy necklaces. It's really just the torque and a spell book on the side. He doesn't even wear any armor.
All right, let's get moving.
You all reform and begin heading down into the next tunnel. It's another long, unlit tunnel. Excuse me. With those same kind of bas reliefs on the side. This time, it shows what appears to be a bunch of Kuatoa around a pool, looking towards a large door. And as you progress down the tunnel, this door goes from just being like flat and smooth on it to now has like 3 Kuatoa heads. It's almost like they've been absorbed in. The door seems to be drinking from this pool. It's like you can see little caricatures of the Kuatoa using some sort of magic to force water into the heads of this door. And then it's shown a couple other like almost like a process before another antechamber eventually is shown at the end. And as soon as you get, within eye shot of seeing kind of the edges of this chamber, the smell of blood hit your noses. And you see the three individuals kind of form a tight formation and step by step enter into the antechamber. Their torchlight illuminates it. And everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check.
14.
14.
12.
My passive is 9.
11.
11. Yeah, looking through this room, you see that there is a crude effigy made in the kind of center of this room. It seems to be made out of one part stone and one part bones that have not been cracked open and sucked away for all of their marrow. It's this vaguely troglodyte form, but broader, more squat, closer to like a frog than anything else. Go ahead and roll. Anyone who would like to can roll religion on this.
I 9 as well.
14.
7.
Freddie, with your 14, you recognize that this is indeed a shrine of some sort. You don't know much about it, but you do know that troglodytes venerate their god called Lagozed. You're not really sure what the practices are. It's all a troglodyte. There's not a lot of interesting stuff on it, but you do know that this appears to be an effigy towards Lagozed, which is the troglodyte god. However, looking through, the room does appear to be empty. Hey, mans. Anybody know what this is?
The religious effigy thing.
Seems kind of new to be from Kuatoa. Do troglodytes worship stuff?
Not much, but you're looking at it.
Shitty, man. Shitty. Should we destroy it? Is that something we should do? Just knock it over?
I mean, I'm a fearing man. I'd rather not get any gods angry at me while I'm in the middle of a sewer. Just in case.
Right, right. Yeah, that's probably good advice. Suzanne kind of nods, takes your advice, goes up to it, kind of stands by, and looks up onto it. It's with the amount of stones and everything, the entire effigy itself is probably about 8 feet tall. As it looks to the top, hey, you know what would be crazy? What if, I bet you could hide right up there and wham! Zanzan is immediately toppled over by a troglodyte at the top, who leaps down and takes a bite out of Zanzan. He's currently knocked prone. So, with his dudes on one side of the effigy, you guys heading towards that, so if the effigy's in the center of this 30 by 30 room, his dudes are already moving down towards the tunnel. You guys a little bit behind them, letting them lead the way. So as it kind of turns back, as Zanzan's kind of lagged behind. So it's like reverse marching order. So Freddy and Rory, you are closer than Jasper and Jove. As you see this troglodyte drop down and immediately get on top of Zanzan and begin to do a deep bite, attempting to feast upon the tall art user. At the top of initiative is Jove once again.
sure Jove hears the rustle behind him, so he'll turn tail, and so I see him. He's not on the other side of the effigy. He's like in line of sight.
Yes, very easily.
Perfect. Thank goodness Hunter's Mark lasts for so goddamn long. So I'll go ahead and bonus action move it over to the one on top of him. We know this song and dance. Gonna throw a good old javelin at him. Oh god damn! It's another halfling crit fail, so that's gonna be 6.
6. Yeah, it strikes the effigy. Roll damage.
Okay. That's hilarious. Literally do minimum for 5.
For 5, yeah, you strike and break off a piece, and the whole thing begins to shake and starts to kind of sway a little bit back and forth of stone and bone, and you can see stained with blood in places. It doesn't fall, but it is starting to shake more and more as the weight gets thrown to one side to the other. But for the time being, it stands.
Then I'll have Aquila attend to my side, and she'll take the dodge action, and we will call that turn.
It is some of the guys' turn, but they do not go back. So now it's Freddy's turn. You see, in fact, you hear a very audible amount of laughter coming from them as you can see 2 of them have turned around and looked back, and they haven't continued down, but they make no motion to go help, and in fact are reveling in this show of troglodytes attack.
Yeah, I'm gonna vicious mockery the troglodyte.
Absolutely. That is a 12.
Okay. 1 psychic.
And disadvantage. Do you say anything particularly clever?
No, just hey, get off that dude, you idiot. Boom, mockery.
Boom.
Super
Mocked.
effective.
Got him.
Ha!
Fucking got him.
Got him. It is now Zanzan's turn. And he, boy, he does not like that at all. And with a kind of a quick move of hands, you see that he grabs his spell book and he throws it like a frisbee off to the side of the room and places his hands to his neck, almost like a choking sensation, like the universal sign for choking. And there's a bright flash of light before you see him on the ground, about 15 feet away where the spell book is, as he picks himself up and kind of brushes himself off, and he will use his action to take the dodge action for the time being, as he uses half of his movement to get closer to you, Jove. And he sends a, "Hey, thanks, man. Gave me an opportunity to get out of that." But you can see that the bite, it isn't devastating like the individual beforehand, but you can see that parts of his robes are far more a darker red than they were at the start. So Zanzan will get out of that. It is then that troglodyte's turn, with its prey not there. The closest thing to it is going to be you, Jove. So troglodyte's going to come over to you and do some attacks. First one.
I actually have Aquila in front of me, so you tell me if it attacks me or Aquila, but I did have Aquila attending in front of me.
You're both getting attacks.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Troglodyte has multi-attack, so it's going to take 1 bite at Aquila. That's a natural 20.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. So Aquila is going to take... Ooh. Oh, that's maximum. That's going to be 12 piercing damage. As it just goes in, its mouth opens up incredibly wide and just gets a good chunk of Aquila's whole body in it. And wait, Aquila took the dodge
Did it roll with
action.
disadvantage? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to say.
Well, it saves you from the critical fail, but that is still going to be a 19.
That'll do it.
All right, so instead of 12, it is 4 points of piercing damage. So Keela's able to move and just gets like a back leg, big bite out of it. And then is going to make 2 claw attacks against you, Jove.
Okay.
That is a 23.
That'll hit.
And the other one is only a 14.
That will hit off the shield.
Yes, and Joe, could you have you and Aquila make me a Constitution saving throw?
Is it for poison?
It is indeed for poison.
I have stout resilience.
You
and I also
do.
have resistance against poison damage. So that's a thing. Ooh, we don't even need the advantage, but we're going to roll it anyways. So I rolled 23 or 22 rather for Jove's con save and for Aquila's con save. That is 21. Beautiful.
Yeah, this isn't your first tussle with troglodytes. Their stench, you've got a hearty stomach, and it doesn't even get like a rumble out of your insides as you're just able to power through. However, you do take 5 points of slashing damage. That is its turn. Then it is... That is going to be Jasper. Jasper.
I'll whip that axe out again and flank on this troglodyte.
Yeah, this time you do have advantage for the sneak if you're using your battle axe.
Do I do? That's a 18.
An 18, yeah, definitely will hit.
Go ahead and just add that lightning d6 too.
Ooh, delicious. Thank you.
A little bit
Okay.
that plus ultra on it. You know?
Yeah. That's 11 slashing and then 5 lightning.
11 slashing, 5 lightning. How do you want to do this?
She's gonna kind of make the same running swipe this time higher and like just cleaving like way deep into the hips, like 75% like across.
Yeah, it just, you rip through, especially with Aquila adding that, once again, you feel that acceleration of your body as it makes contact with your axe. It just, way faster than you're anticipating, and you just feel almost no resistance. And as you kind of dig your battle axe and cleave right through this, almost the entirety of the way through, you can feel just how thin this troglodyte is. It just... But it is slain. Wow,
All right.
man. That was pretty incredible. I don't know what you're doing there with your scale friend, but wow.
Yeah,
We
she's
need to
got some
catch up to
talent.
your companions before they get too far.
And he just kind of looks over, and for just a second, there's almost a raise in temperature. As for the first time, it's not a cracked smile, it's not just annoyance, it is a full-on glare. And you can see the light in Zanzan's eyes. He's got these beautiful kind of amber Zuko-colored eyes. And just for a second, it's like you can feel the heat off this dude in anger just for a minute. Then he
Hey, before my friend heals you, how'd you come into contact with these guys? Why are you working with them?
If it was up to me, man, I'd never look at any single one of these guys. But I got into some trouble, man, and, well, Virlo, I owed him one, and when he was gone, somebody had to take over. I occasionally can't talk my way out of everything.
You ended up leading a group you weren't even a part of?
Yeah, that's why we've got so much of that animosity between us. It's not my group, but I can't back out. We're kind of stuck here.
Makes sense. Kind of a hard place to back out of once you're in it.
Can't go back empty-handed. Can't just kill all these guys and get out of here. Definitely can't let myself get killed, man. Why do you think I tried to talk to you guys so hard?
You've got some mighty bad luck, friend. Rory, if you feel the need, go ahead.
I can't guarantee that this will fix up everything, but come here. Let me see your shoulder. And he'll put his hand on him, and
He bends down so you have a better grip at it.
alrighty. So he will heal for 5 hit points as Rory gets a real good solid grip on the shoulder, and you see again just kind of that almost like kind of light up scarring go across what parts of his skin are visible, and if you could even see underneath on his shoulder, it's almost kind of like a mirrored scar of the bites that kind of that start to kind of take place there in that same kind of red marking on himself as he tries to kind of close it on there and almost kind of like put it a bit on himself.
Oh, man, that feels pretty good. Got away with your hands, man.
Well, if you make it out of this, you can thank Ilmater for all of it.
Yeah, man, you should really charge for this kind of services. I bet you could really make some money off of that. Or at least make you real popular with some people.
I hadn't really thought of it. I have some concerns about it, but we'll see.
Hey, I'm just happy for even a little bit of help. Thanks, man.
It is on me to take other suffering where I can, so make no mention of it. Come on, let's not get too far behind, though, everybody.
And he nods, straightens up, moves his hands together, and you watch. And there's a kind of a splat of his blood kind of going off of his robes. And hold on, man, and takes your hands and does the same thing, and just kind of pulls the blood that you have from his blood off of you with another prestidigitation, cleans you up.
Equally handy trick that you have with your hands, friend.
It's just some basic, they call it the wizard's trick, man. Anybody could do it. I bet you could learn it.
Maybe, but I feel my work is maybe dedicated towards something else. That said, Freddy, you could learn something like this.
Yeah, Freddy, why don't you know something like that?
Oh, I bet this man could totally learn something like that.
Like what? I wasn't watching.
Oh, the classical wizard trip, a little prestidigitation, man. You definitely
Like,
got the skill
how
for
you
it.
don't have shit wet all over you anymore? That trick.
Yeah, it's not really a thing that I'm interested in. Not really. Don't really need.
Dag.
Of course not, poopy pants.
Oh, yeah, she's got the jokes too. I thought we were done doing that, man. Well, shit, are we back on those jokes? Nice, man, nice.
Have we caught up to these fuckers yet? Where are they? Jesus.
As you guys catch up to these kind of remaining three, you come into another one of these chambers, quickly passing more and more. The bas reliefs become less about water and such, and about like a single Kuatoa, one who has what looks like a large staff, and at the top of it looks like pincers of like some sort of crustacean attached to it, and each one gets more and more detailed until where it's almost like an organ structure of this Kuotoa, and you can see like symbols of water on the inside and the outside, and by the end, the kind of bas reliefs are so accurate. You feel it's almost like a creature could reach out from this wall and touch you. Surprisingly, like it went from kind of just like rough, more than cave drawings, but not as nice as like a Roman style bas relief. So these ones down here are incredibly well done, almost artesian, you could say. However, there's a final room, and looking inside of it, as the three individuals kind of enter and keep themselves back to back, the light illuminates this whole room, and you can see there's a tunnel leading out. It looks almost unremarkable from the rest of the chambers that you've been in. However, you can see that there appears to be stones that kind of reflect the light, and they all seem to be in kind of like a big circle around here. Go ahead and everyone roll me a perception check real quick.
19.
19,
But day one.
21.
Not nat 20.
Freddie,
Muted. 16.
16. Just do a quick roll here. Yeah, everyone, Freddie included, you all see that there looks like about 20 of these stones. Each one set in kind of this like circle here. The ground is kind of raised in some strange areas by these stones. The stench of troglodyte is heavy. However, everyone but Freddie, as you're kind of looking around, thinking of some more shit-covered puns to throw out, you notice that underneath, by two of the kind of larger gems, the floor, there's something wrong with it. And upon closer inspections, not to the notice of the three individuals or Zanzan himself, but you can see that the troglodytes have laid themselves flat and are currently motionless, having these gems placed on their backs. They haven't moved yet, but everyone except for Freddy notices that they are definitely there. They don't seem to be dead either, waiting.
Since we're behind the three, Jasper's gonna grab Freddy and look back at Zanzan and hold her hand out.
And Zanzan sees you as you hold your hands out and kind of stops and kind of puts his hands out and kind of like a "hey, what's up" gesture.
She points at the rocks and then, at her eyes, like, look closer.
Zanzan looks and nods, and Freddy, with Jasper pointing out, you see it now. This way that their skin is set up and the way that they've covered themselves makes it so that if you're not looking for it, yeah, they blend right on in. It's almost chameleon-like. However, now that's been pointed out, you can see that the kind of pair of them on each side. Zanzan kind of looks at you, Jasper, and... Hey, man, look at those gems. I mean, you could probably just go pick those gems up and take them. Right, man? Looks to you, Jasper, with kind of like a wink.
They look valuable to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just pick those up and take them. I mean, maybe we should get all on that first before anybody else. And as he starts doing that with the... Just roll quick. Yeah. The three individuals, the one holding the torch stands, but kind of like elbows both of them, and each one of the two of the remaining kind of guys goes over and grabs one of the gems, and immediately the troglodytes spring into action, and they're each going to do some attacks real quick on these guys. Oh, that is at its, I need one more. All right, out of 6 attacks, they rolled a nat 20, an 18, a 19, a 14, a 10, 11, and a 3. That's a lot. So immediately they jump up and just completely unsuspecting, with their hands outstretched and kind of bent over. One of these dudes is just absolutely murdered on the spot. The troglodyte jumps and uses its claws to rip open the neck, and then just starts like right down through the center, starting at the collarbones down to the guts. Just this huge bite. It rips open and just immediately covers itself in what used to be this guy. Let's just take care of that right there. The other one is able to dodge the bite, but still takes a claw strike straight to kind of like the outer thigh, and almost brings this guy down to a knee. As we go back to the top with Jove.
I am going to move my hunter's mark to the one that took the guy down to his knee, and going to check a javelin.
Chuck a javelin.
Okay, thank God. I thought that was a fucking... that's going to be 16.
16 will hit.
Okay, I will go ahead and add Akila's lightning spittle. See what we got here. Only 1 lightning this time, and 10 piercing.
1 lightning, 10 piercing. Yeah, it strikes through with speed, but not the full lightning power. So while it does strike this creature squarely in the chest, it does not topple.
And gonna have Akila attend to me once again, have her in front of me, and taking the dodge action. That'll be turn.
All right. Then moving down, that dude's dead. So the other one is gonna try to make a strike against this troglodyte, unsuccessfully. So he's so startled that he tries to get out the wood, and with that critical fail, ends up just throwing it wildly, and it moves from his hands, and you can hear it clatter and hit a wall some distance away. Zanzan is just gonna watch these dudes get muffed up. So dropping that right on down to Freddy.
Okay. Just do a vicious mockery at the closest one.
Yeah, they're equal distance, so the one that Jove attacked or the one that hasn't been attacked yet. Choice is yours.
The one that is most healthy, so I guess the one that hasn't been attacked.
Gotcha. That is going to be. That's a 5. These troglodytes are just
They
completely
failed
weak
every
to.
single one.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 psychic
4 and a
and
max
disadvantage.
psychic.
Yeah, get wrecked.
All right, give me a good one. Give me a little something with this one. What do you say? For a max one, give it to me.
You tearing into my friend, I'm gonna tear into you.
Oh! This awful kind of wailing noise.
Jobs just erupting. Ooh.
And it echoes through the city. You can hear that just shooting down this tunnel. I bet they could hear this back at the camp. Oh!
Those guys way in the back can hear air horns.
It's confusing.
Anyway.
So, the that's Freddy's turn. It is. Oh, that dude's dead. Oh, they got really low initiative. So it is the torch bearer who is going to back up to his buddy who's engaged with the troglodyte, and he's going to go around it and try to make a strike with the torch. No, absolutely not. This troglodyte sees the torch coming and drops low, and this guy almost ends up hitting his companion with the said torch. As it just this wide swing. Then it is Jasper.
Would she have noticed Zanzan not doing anything for?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, cause you and Zanzan and Freddy were like all right next to each other, and like you look at Zanzan and he like clips his spell book back up into his holster, and kind of pops some fingers and just kind of watches. You can tell that he is enjoying this change of fate.
Don't get too relaxed, buddy. You know we're gonna have to fight them next. And she pulls out a hand axe and chucks it at the one that Jove hit.
Yeah. Roll it out.
That's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That's 5 slashing.
5 slashing. How do you want to do this?
Nice. Just catch it like right in the eye socket, which like gets clean like halfway through the head.
Zanzan turns to you as this creature drops and goes, "You sure, man? Because it seems like you're going to clean it up real fast." It kind of nods and looks over, and you can see that there is a very... If a smile could be audible, this would be an audible smile.
Well, she'll end her turn there.
All right. Then it is Rory's turn, because I know you have better dexterity than this troglodyte.
Wouldn't you know it, I do. And wouldn't you know it, I'm going to go over and attack said troglodyte before he can attack me.
Absolutely. You have advantage since it's already being flanked.
That's a 17 on the first attack.
That'll hit.
13 on the bonus.
That'll also hit.
Nice. So with the unarmed and the staff, ooh, nice. That is going to be 14 bludgeoning damage altogether.
14 bludgeoning. How do you want to do this?
So good, so good. I feel like it's almost like a... Have any of you really played like a whole lot of Soul Calibur?
I have
Soul
played a
Calibur
bit of Soul Calibur.
Okay, do you know the move with Keelik where it's almost like he kind of like goes down low and like spins the staff around and then just comes around and just slams it? It's that. It's one fluid ass motion as it just squishes.
Good old
thing.
Keelik.
Mm-hmm. It's like low profile. Like it's almost like a full-on spin on the ground, and just using that momentum to just come up and strike it down.
And it just crumbles underneath the strike. It's just not prepared for it at all from the side, and it just crumples into a broken pile at your feet. And then once again, the room is still.
So it's the guy with the torch. How's the other guy looking?
There's the guy with the torch. The other guy, he looks like he is a bit cut up, but clearly on his feet. Not as bad as that first guy in the room. But he's taken a couple licks. Like definitely not spicy, just clearly has taken a claw or two.
Jasper's gonna walk to the other side of the room towards the next cavern, kind of so that the two guys are sandwiched between me and the party.
Yeah, you move that way, and looking into the next room, it's completely dark except you see a soft kind of blue light deep into the next room. The only reason, it's not very bright, but you notice it because the rest of the room is completely black, glowing up ahead, and it widens out. Instead of like a small antechamber like this, the next room over is far larger, double in size easily. The ceiling rises past, the 10, 20 feet, going even higher. And you can see that the Voss reliefs have stopped at this part and led to a large archway that kind of like sticks out just once again, that almost artesian style. Instead of just being like carved smooth stone, it looks actually like some time and work was put into this.
She rounds back to the party, or to like everyone, and pulls out her battle axe. All right, boys, it's a come to Almada moment now.
Hey.
What the fuck is your cult doing here?
And the two of them turn to you. They both kind of look, and come to that, huh? Aren't you in for a surprise? And he sticks two fingers in his mouth, and there's a large whistle.
Yeah, I mean, if he does that, Jasper's gonna charge him.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ooh.
Well, there we are, guys. Here we are. So much to talk about. So much to look forward to. But let us say goodnight to chat first.
Good night.
Good night,
chat.
chat.
Thank you so
Night,
much.
chat.
Thank you so much, chat, for checking on in our adventures. Sorry I messed up that opening. I don't know. Just really, the week away does terrible things to me. But we will be back next Sunday at our usual time to continue on Foulness beneath Mulmmaster, Part 3, to see the boiling over of tensions between the guys underneath Zanzan Thavish's thumb and our favorite adventuring party in Mulmmaster. But until then, much love, peace in the Middle East. Until then.